Let's face the reality over here. It's not 9 to 5 first. It's always 9 to 9. I've never seen thing as a hustle culture, to be very honest. I used to do 4 freelancing jobs in a day after IID.
So let me formally introduce Khyati to all of you. So Khyati Patel is our alumni. She is a senior brand strategist at Shabang. She's worked for some of the biggest brands like Akasa Air, Pidilite, Montra Electric, and many, many more. So that is great, Khyati, actually. And apart from balancing her 9 to 5 job, she's also a full-fledged content creator. She has over 20K followers on Instagram, and as a content creator, she has worked for brands like Mohik, Crocs, which is very huge, Khyati, and as well as Tata New and Bajaj Finserv. So, Khyati, it is really great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much for this warm introduction and lovely to meet you all of you guys. And very happy and looking forward to this. I'm actually very excited, and I was literally speaking with these people that I really want to do this, and if I can be of any help, I am happy to do that.
And actually, guys, a fun fact about Khyati, she hails from Gujarat, and she also met one of her best friends who is Ekta Jamnani, and she is currently roommate with her. So
Yeah, I met Ekta over here. So I think tables have turned really well. Like I was there 2 years ago, and now I'm this side, and it has come like a full circle. Ekta is one of my was one of my batchmates, like how you people are. And we used to stay together, and even after IID got over, after 11 months, we are still touchwood roommates. She is also into marketing, and so am I. And yeah, I think I got a sister out of IIT, is what I would like to say. She's more like a family now, and yeah, we've been all the ups and downs of life together in this city like Bombay. So yeah, Ekta has been a gift.
That's great, Khyati.
Yeah.
So to introduce you and people who are watching on their screens this video, meet the creative folks here at IID. They are called as the Creative Club here at IID, and they all are inspiring content creators, and they are really excited to hear from you about your journey and your insights as a content creator. So let's get started.
Why not?
Let's
Let's begin.
Cool. So the first question that I'd like to ask you is that you are balancing a 9 to 5 job, and you're also a content creator. So how are you balancing everything? Because like there's so much going on in your life. So can you tell us about that?
Honestly, not balancing yet. Still not there yet. Balancing is a little subjective word, I would like to say. On the verge of balancing, but yes, it's very hectic, guys. Honestly speaking, it's not 9 to 5 first. It's always 9 to 9. Let's face the reality over here. So it's tough, it's difficult, but 5 days a week, I'm a digital marketer, but on weekend, I really put myself through a lot of work to create content, maybe for the brands that I have taken up in charge for, and other pieces of for my personal content creation and everything. So it sometimes become very overwhelming. It sometimes become like, okay, I really want to take a break for myself and don't want to shoot, but then in taking break for myself, also a content piece that you have to create. So that loop is never closing, never ending. But yes, it's fun. I love camera. I love being in front of camera. I've always loved that. So I think when it comes to me being a content creator on weekend, I take utmost pride and I take a lot of happiness to do that. But yes, I'm still balancing, managing. When I'm doing my job, I'm still thinking way back home that, okay, what content piece should I create on weekend, or how I should, try and interact with my audience, or any old content piece that has worked really well for me. I can just put that on my story and let my audience know that I'm still alive. I'm not dead yet. So all these things I keep thinking and keep doing it. But yeah, I'm still trying to balance.
So, like following up on that, do you believe in hustle culture? Like, do you believe in the concept of work-life balance? Because a lot of Gen Zs believe that, we need to have a work-life balance. You're doing your job, you're doing content creation, you're not finding time for yourself. So how do you do that? Like, how do you balance your life?
I might get in a little trouble also for saying this, but I've never seen thing as a hustle culture, to be very honest. Like when I started, when I was even in IID, I used to take up a lot of I used to do 4 freelancing jobs in a day after IID. Like I used to design Canva designs for a brand and then do some other freelancing and everything. So when I started, I just put my head down and I just started doing it, and I just kept doing it till the time I realized, okay, I'm hustling right now. Okay, oh, this is a part of my hustle culture that I'm a part of, or something like that. But yes, I would really like to highly emphasize on the fact that give yourself some time, guys. I mean, it's good that you're hustling in your early 20s or 30s, and it is very important and essential. But there is this small gap or phase or break that you really need to take for yourself. So I do believe in hustle culture a little, depending on how much you can take up. Not necessary that the other person is, let's say, for example, doing like 13 hours a day work, and I also need to be that kind of a person who used to do 13 hours a day ka work and, you know, hustle uske jaise. No. If you can still manage to do that in your 9 hours work frame, then I think you have better management skills and better time planning skills.
Correct.
So it's not about like, oh, I need to be a part of hustle culture and then only I'll grow. It's about working hard but working smart. And having said that, also need to keep certain boundaries and then take your time and then have that work-life balance. Till date, I don't have work-life balance. Before this thing started, I was coordinating with my junior to go a post live for my brand for Diwali. Not a work-life balance. I don't want to see my work office text on a weekend. But yeah, I mean, that is something that is a part and parcel of life, and I still do take a lot of pride in doing that. So depend on how well you can take it. So yes, hustle, but also give yourself some little credit and time.
And planning as well, right?
And planning as well. I like Excel sheets now. Being corporate girly has made me better in one thing, is making proper, literally, like I went to a vacation a month ago and I planned my entire itinerary, color coded thing on Excel sheet, and I put it up on the group, and my other people, my friends were like, are you mad? You have made an Excel sheet, like how you are clients or what? And I was like, dude, I like things being organized. I know where are we going on day 1, day 2, and then I need to plan accordingly.
Correct.
Not necessary. Spontaneous trips are also the best ones, but I like to be a little planned. So yeah, you need to have that time management and time planning. And I'm not saying that everybody will ace it. I was also not like that one. I had missed out on a lot of things, and right now I say that, okay, time management you should do, and you should do planning and all of that. But I've missed a lot of things in my early career stage when I've started. So take a deep breath, do your thing, and be yourself. I think that's what works.
Thank you, Khyati, for that. So we also heard that you had initially applied for the junior brand strategist role at Shabang, and then you ended up receiving the role of a senior, strategist. So
yeah.
How did that happen? Like, how was your reaction like?
You know, even when right now, even if I like listen this from someone else, I get literally goosebumps and butterflies. A little backstory, by the way, guys, and to be very honest with you, because I really want to be very transparent with all of you. I got rejected for the very first time when I had my Shabang interview. It was just a telephonic interview, and then I got rejected. And then later on, my resume got shifted to another team. That's a process. If one team feel that it's not fit for their brands, you can apply to other team also. So placement manager at IIT were very patient and very calm and composed with me, and they said that it's okay, we'll do it again, Khyati, and we'll share your resume again to another person. So you know, then that's where I thought that ke sabko second chance nahi milta.
Yeah.
If mujhe mila hai, then I'm actually the lucky one, and I need to give it my all. And I gave it my, like I was literally wearing formal outfits while it was an online interview, and my camera was on, I was explaining, and then I had put all my 11 months ka knowledge into that PPT. I literally said that PPT of mine has to be, they need to have like, okay, wow, we asked for this and we gave it. Like they asked for caption, but I also gave them visual reference on how the creative will look like. I went above and beyond. They asked platform strategy. I had given concepts also for platform strategy. Always try and give more than what has asked from your managers or from your recruiting manager or anyone. That is very important. And that's where I gave it all. And then like next day my HR called that, okay, if they loved you in your interview, they're very happy. We just want to check that whether you have good caption writing skills or not. So we're sending you another very short assignment. I was like, okay. And then the subject line came in senior brand solution strategist, like assignment for senior brand. I was like, bro, you I think sent a wrong one, huh? Like, I don't think so, it's for me. So she's like, no, sorry, I forgot to mention that they think that you're a perfect fit for the strategy that you plan and do. They think that you're perfect fit for a strategist role who's a senior most person and who can do that in your team. And then I was like, what, really? And then I was like, yeah. So the next time again, the interview happened, and all my managers who were there in the panel over there, they were very happy with my interview. They said that usually this happens via HR sending you a formal email, ki, hey, you are like hired and whatever. They're like, I'm going to tell you now only, you're hired.
Wow.
And I literally had tears that day, but I was like constantly like smiling and giggling in front of the camera. I was like, okay, thank you so much. But yeah, that is what I said, that when they have only asked caption writing skills for me, but I've also given visual references for the creative. I've also given the output that I'm thinking that this particular piece will bring. Let's say if it's a campaign for XYZ, then I've literally given them, okay, this will bring profile visits or lead gen or something like that. Always give above and beyond, especially at your initial stage when you be someone who wants to get spotlight. It's
Correct.
very important to have that spotlight at the very early stage. People should remember you and recall your name every now and then.
So
And-
going above and beyond basically helps.
Helps.
In earlier of your in
Helps,
earlier stages of career, right?
Actually, for most of the agencies and corporate brands or everywhere, above and beyond is a separate criteria during your appraisal time.
Correct.
So that's this proper, and they rate you out of 5 or out of 10. That how, what apart from your job description, what else you have done above and beyond for the brand, and that is actually important. So, and don't do it just for the sake of like doing it. Like feel it, guys. Enjoy it. Like I was making my PPT and I was literally tensed and all and everything that एक बार reject हो चुकी लगेगा कि नहीं लगेगा, but then I was literally enjoying doing that. As if I was actually making it on Canva, the design that I used to present to my interviewers or my managers or stuff like that. So you need to have fun actually and then give it all.
Correct. So since you've been in the industry, how important do you think personal branding is, especially in your early stages of your career? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Very important. And I'll tell you why at your early stage branding, start building your own brand, your own personal identity, especially early in terms of like, let's say you have a 5K, 6K, 10K followers, you have a lot of room of learning and unlearning a lot of things. You can learn, you can unlearn, you can try, you can do errors, you can do mistakes, you can experiment. You have that room because you have nothing to lose at that point. You're not growing exponentially at that point. So for me right now at 22K, I sometimes feel that if I do this format of content piece and I feel what if my audience will say about it, or how they'll react, or what if like my followership come ho gaya to, or something like that. I still think that and I take a step back before doing it. But when you're at 8K, 10K, when you are like maybe lesser than that, it's very new for you and you feel like okay, you know what, let me just give it a shot and try it. But then you understand that this content piece nahi chalega. My audience is not looking something like that. Or right now, my audience is not that kind of an audience who wants to see a get ready with me. Maybe they just want to see a day in my life. Or maybe they just want to know about what I do or anything, that type of content that I make. So early stage pay to build a brand of your own, and that actually helps in corporate also, I'll tell you, because now I'm a digital marketer, but also they look at me as a person who create content for the brands. So I'm on most of my brands content pages as well. Let's say Engage Perfume or Book My Show or anywhere. Like they just simply ask, will you create content or not? So this also maybe like a brownie point to your interviewer, to anyone who you are interviewing, or like in your career also. Okay, they have their own personal brand that can come as a lot of help for the agency and for the brands also. So like keep trying, guys. Make errors, make mistakes. A lot of room for trying, and just see what fits to you and your audience, and yeah, do it.
Awesome, Khyati. So what specific skills do you think are non-negotiable like for a content creator today? Like, can you share some?
Consistency, I would say, and do not mistake that with frequency. When I say consistent, it doesn't mean that you have to post every single day, but consistency means that talk to your audience, understand what they actually want, how they want it in a way, and then like give it to them with quality. And one, consistency, that is a skill set. B, I would say, be yourself, yeah. Like just true to yourself. Like even if there are like flaws in your videos, or like let's say something that you feel that you're not very comfortable showing because this is like not the perfect type of video it is, which it's supposed to be. Still do it. Still show it to your audience. Let them know that how you are. Second, I feel that it's not necessary as a skill set, but a little bit of basic editing skills go a long way. I have had a very hard time when I started because I was lazy. Not that I don't know how to edit and all, but I was very lazy during my time, and I used to ask my friends to help me with editing and all of that. And till date, sometimes I ask my friends to edit and all, but a little bit of editing skills can go a long way. Try and edit on Instagram only, because Instagram algorithms works in a different way, and this is something that I have experienced it. So of course you can use VN editor and other apps also, but if you edit your clips in Instagram, if it's that type of format and content, I feel that my content pieces has had more reach than what I had put up editing in third party apps or different apps. So a little bit of editing and all of that, and learning about like your basic lights and shadow basically is will go a long way. I think these are non-negotiables, because if you're doing a makeup thing and the light is not coming, and then I don't know what people are then looking at. So all these very basic things and skills, but yeah, consistency, yes. And that doesn't mean frequency. Like, you don't need to bombard your audience with 20 stories a day. They need to only know the important stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So, what do you think about hopping on trends? Do you think that, everyone should do it? Or do you feel like, you can do your own thing and, have your own style?
I feel I have not hopped on every trend, to be very honest, and I'm going to speak from my personal experience. Yes, trends are good, do it, but understand your niche. If I'm a lifestyle creator, or if I'm, let's say, a fintech person, or a content creator who is more into finance, but then I can't do something which is a quirky number or like something like that. That is something that I feel personally is not going to have that credibility for your page. Like, I don't hop on every trend. Like, I know that there are some music, there are some audios, or there are some trends which I can take up and I can, ace it with transitions or stuff like that and this and that. I will take that up and I will do that. But then there are certain things which I've tried. I've literally made a fool out of myself and tried that also. That's where I say that keep trying, learning, keep making mistakes and all of that. But not necessary that every trend is what, and especially when you don't feel comfortable doing it. You need to get comfortable in your own skin to hop onto any trend or anything that you do on social media. Content creation is more you than what you do for the brand or what you do with the brand. They will approach you for what you do it in your own unique style, and how a brand can be benefited from that is what basically content creation for me actually is that. So yes, do trends, but only the ones which actually fits to your life, like to your style and to a niche particularly. Then it will go a long way.
Awesome. So where do you find good references? Like, I'm very sure you might have had some creative blogs as a content creator yourself. So where do you inspire yourself? Like, what do you look at, like, for referencing?
So I have had a very good list of couple of influencers like Kanchi Sharma, Tarini Shah. I really like the content that Rida Tharana makes. I love the way she narrates her life story. She keeps going on these trips and all of that and everything. And I was like, I'm going to be a solo traveler one day like her. All these content creators who literally inspires me a lot to do. Of course, I'm not there yet. But when I think of a concept that I really have to do or make, I literally look up to these people. And I'll tell you, referencing is something that these days people mistake in replicating it. Like, you need to understand the difference between referencing and replicating it. Just because that ABC person is doing it, I'm going to do the exact same thing in the same sequence, and all of that is replicating the things. I take that as a reference. I add my own unique style to it. I add my own flair to it. I like it, I do it. I don't like it, I don't do it. So what I do is I keep clicking pictures and videos and clips wherever I go, whatever I do, and then I think while I'm traveling in train or something like that, okay, I can literally pick these two clips and make a day in my life reel. Or let's say when I'm sipping coffee in my office, when I'm working on a laptop, when I'm literally having a meeting with my friends and all and everything, or my colleagues and all, I just keep my camera and I keep clicking. I think it's a day in my life in Shabang ho gaya. Like that. So that is also you need to look around for referencing. Nature is the best reference is what I feel. The beauty lies in the nature. Keep looking around, keep seeing people, keep looking around in a way that it gives you perspective to create content on your own with your own flair. But yes, these are the couple of content creators that I really love, enjoy and look up to. And I feel you can also pick one of yours if it fits to your niche.
Awesome. Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically referencing, very important, but not replicating is the
Yes,
key to it.
yes, that can be the line, that do not replicate all the references that you see.
Got it. Cool. So, a very big question to you, and I'm very sure that all these guys here are very curious about it as well.
I'm getting scared.
So, how did you land up clients like Crocs and Tata Neu? It's crazy.
Okay. Let me take a little step back and tell you guys the truth. When you're starting initially and when you have very less followers and all of that, reach out to brand and DM them as many times as you feel. There is absolute no shame in knocking any door you feel like. No shame. I have literally done for Plum, for Mars, and I've not gotten back also for certain brands. But keep doing that in interval. Of course, don't bombard them every single day. You might end up getting blocked by them as well. But there is no shame in reaching out to people and telling them. And there's a way of writing and drafting that message. It's an art, I feel. You're not selling yourself. You're telling that you are looking at a partnership, not even a collaboration. I'm looking at a partnership. I feel my niche, I feel the way that I create content is something that is going to align with the product that you sell, that is going to align with your brand, and we can have a beautiful partnership for maybe a reel or a collab reel or a story or something like that. Always tell them in a way that you actually are looking at a long-term partnership with them, or maybe more like a partnership with them. When you say, I would like to do a collaboration with you, that's where it kind of puts them off, because they must be getting collaboration for like hundreds of people must be DMing them every single day. But then there's a beauty of writing this DMs and message, and there's this art. You're not selling yourself, but you're also selling that, okay, it's a partnership, guys. I really want to partner with you, with your brand. I really want to, give something good to your brand also and to everyone, so that it aligns with both of us. Like I will also, my followers will get good experience of your product, but your brand will also get my followership or the followers that is there. And one thing, like going a little out of this, but a very general, as marketers, we are not selling anything. We are not selling products or brands. We are selling experiences. Let's just start with that. I am not telling Mohe, when I wear that lehenga, I'm feeling like a queen. My videos are like coming on like I'm a Maharani of some, I don't know, some kingdom or something like that. But I'm not telling them, oh wow, the Jardosi work is very nice. You should buy this and at a very nice price. No, I'm selling them experience that a girl will have on a wedding day when she'll wear Mohe's lehengas. Is what I'm selling, is what my creative team is working on, is what I am translating when they are working on a concept, and then I'm the one who's translating that on the camera. So it's very important that even if you reach out to people, no shame. No shame in knocking any door and every door that you feel that is going to work with you or you want to work with them. B, after a certain point, there are these very small influencer agencies also. Try signing up with them. Because Mohe and all this bit happened with that as well. Because Shabang also has an influencer wing, and they have reached out to me. They were not aware that I was a part of Shabang even before they reached out to me for Mohe. So they said that, okay, Khyati, I think we have seen you somewhere in the office only. And I was like, yeah, I work in Shabang. But if I have not signed up as Shabanger also, or like as outside person also, they would have never reached out to me. So try signing up with the small influencer agencies. They won't charge much and everything like that. Or there must be barter only for the initial days. I don't have proper idea. But like an agency like Mad Influence is one of them. You can literally like make a note of it and know about it, because I have had a friend who had signed up herself over there as well. So trying signing up. And apart from that, simultaneously keep bombarding people with DMs and asking them to work with you. And that's one thing led to another. I have leverage of Mohe, and that's where I got Crocs. I had leverage of Bajaj Finserv, that's why I've got Mohe. You have to try building that portfolio one after the other. Plus, I show a lot of diversity and versatility. Mohe as a fashion and all. Bajaj Finserv, I did fintech with them. Crocs, it was a very fun reel that I did for them. Tata Neu, again, very relatable, quirky, meme types reels that I did. So it shows a lot of versatility in what I can give or bring to the table and give it to the client. So that is also a good area that you can focus on.
Yeah, that is actually a great insight,
Yeah.
Kati. I guess all of you should start reaching out to different industries and, you know,
Yeah.
start working with them to get an idea about, you know, how they function.
Yeah.
So,
Like footwear brand ho gaya, Mochi or anything, you feel that you can be the brand ambassador of Skechers, reach out to them. Make yourself feel that, okay, I think I have potential to help your brand, benefit from what followers I have, or anyway. Like there are a lot of brands who only does UGC. They don't ask you to post on your page, but I've done a lot of UGC, and I've partnered with this agency called Addix. It's from Bombay only, but they take up UGC brands, and they only have content creators who help them create UGC contents for their brands. I don't have to post it on my page, but they run dark posts and ads and all of that. That is also a very good start. It can add to your portfolio, and you can literally show versatility in your work or diversity.
definitely. So, Khyati, can you tell us, like, initially, since these guys are very new, how do they build that trust with the brand? Because even if they are reaching out, I'm sure they might be getting a lot of messages online,
Yeah.
right? So, how can they build that trust? What do you think they can do over here?
More than trust, it's about patience, guys.
Yeah.
I remember like content creation was never my thing, and when I started, it was not a content creation thing also. This word that we had developed or originated was not a thing when I started. But I had a lot of patience in terms of that, okay, someday someone will reach out.
Definitely.
And content creation was not my very first goal, because I was into marketing and getting a job or doing a degree, all other things were planned for me. So content creation was like, theek hai, if I have some time, I'll create content or I'll just click some videos and all of that. More than trust, have that patience. And when a brand actually shows interest, you need to equally be on top of it. Then you are not replying for 24 hours or 48 hours, that will put them off. Like you need to, if they are actually responding to whatever you have agreed on or whatever you have actually approached them with, then you really need to be a little bit like on top of it. Your turnaround time has to be a little, sorry, I'll be using a lot of technical jargons or corporate words, but yeah, that is something that is there in my language. But yeah, you need to be like there for them. And initially, not to build the trust, you have to do a lot of barter, like free work, a lot of free. But don't do it like free ka kaam kar rahi hu. Enjoy it. Like again, the more you'll enjoy it, the more you will be passionate about it, the more you will be creative about it.
Yeah.
Like I literally, when we had Mohe ka shoot a day before, we used to sit with the DOP and everyone to discuss that, okay, this is my production area, this is my studio, this is the shot number 1, 2, 3. I keep on telling them, can I improve in this? Can I do my bit? Can I do my lehenga from left to right? Can I also, if this is a haldi outfit, can you guys please arrange for haldi actually to put it on the face so that it look real?
Yeah.
Keep giving your extra inputs. Now, you don't have to be know-it-all always, but the brand will be like, yeah, इसको interest है यार हमारे साथ काम करने में. Yeah, she's actually interested in doing work for us and not doing for us but with us. So I used to literally send my POC from Mohe. I used to send her DM में. This time now we'll do Hira Mandi inspired looks with our Mohe lehengas and all of that. We'll do this. मैं creative strategist बन जाती थी आधे से time तो, half of the time तो. So you have to be like that. That's why you also, building trust is easy. Sustaining and retaining it is a tough job.
Yeah.
आपको मेरे पे trust आ गया, it's fine. I've done one piece of work with you, it's okay. But long-term relations, how do I build that? How do I sustain that trust is very important. Keep showing them that you are very interested in them, and actually, if you are actually interested in them, you don't just have to do it or say it for the sake of, क्योंकि वो पता चल जाता है, guys.
Yeah.
That difference, anybody who's in the industry will understand. कि ये सिर्फ for the time being दिखाने के लिए कर रहे हैं. Like you actually have to enjoy it.
Yeah. So the last question that I have for you is, how has content creation impacted your journey as a whole? Like, how has that impacted your career?
Fun story, content creation bit actually started with IIT only. I think you must have seen that reel. Before that, I used to create content. I used to just click pictures or videos and then post it. But Shrey came up to me one day and then we need to do something different this time. I really want to do a day in my life thing with you. And I would really take a little pride in that and saying that we started doing that. I started doing that.
Yeah.
And that has become literally like a good manual for everyone. And the numbers went up like exponentially. Like I did that, and I remember it took us the entire day to shoot that whole piece. That 30-second piece took us entire day, because again, we were the first one who was doing that. So we had to like recheck each shot, do 2-3 safety. Again, I used to drop phone also with this shot. I dropped phone once and twice also. again, same error, trial, error, mistakes, this, that keeps happening, and you have to keep doing that. And then I realized that, okay, I'm actually very good at it, and I can actually pursue something out of it. That's where I was like, okay, now I think IIT has given me this a nudge, push. They have actually get that content creator out of me. Otherwise, before that, I was more like, okay, I want to be a digital marketer only. And yeah, I love cameras. So I'll keep acting if any day I want to become an actor, or I can act in some like commercials or something like that, or advertisement like that. But never as a content creator was a thing for me. I actually gave that thing to me. So yeah, I think it's very important, and it has changed a lot of things. My managers looked at me in a different way. They come up to me in terms of content creation. I remember a very fun moment, like last week we were sitting with my client in Pidilite's office with the CMOs and everybody, head of department, and we are trying to do some or the other campaign coming up in next 2 months. And there's like, Khyati, why can't you be the host? I've seen you creating content. And my CMO said that he had seen my page. I was like, I saw, and you've done a lot of like good. You don't look like how you look right. You look so mature on the page, and you look like this. And I was like, oh, okay. So now they don't just see me as their agency partner, but they also see that, okay, someone, if any day we have to create content, we have Khyati in house.
Yeah.
So I think that has changed a lot, and it gives a lot of confidence also. Like in my personal life, it has given me a lot of confidence. Not that I was not confident before. I was always very outward kind of a person, very extrovert and like that. But yeah, content creation has gave me a lot of confidence, and it helps a lot in your personal and professional career both.
So thank you so much, Khyati, for joining us today. It was an amazing session with you today. I'm very sure all of them got to learn a lot from you. And thank you so much, Khyati.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and if I can be of any help, and happy to share my experience, because of course I also had someone to look up to, and then I started doing my thing. So I'm very happy. I can see a lot of exciting face, and I see a lot of potential, guys. I think you guys have a lot more potential than what you guys are there. So just give it all, give it your best, be yourself, and keep creating, guys, keep creating content. And I would really be happy if you guys do really well, and if I can be of any help, reach out to me also, or to these people also. But today was a fun session.
Yeah, it was.
It was a fun session. Thank you so much.